Hi, I'm Michelle Hardy, and I wanted to talk to you about if you're feeling underappreciated because no one is buying your book or no one's seen your book. And there may be a reason why you feel that way and why your book is not being seen. So, I wanted to give you a few little tips that you can use to help you on your journey to getting more exposure for your book. One reason why you may feel like, as an author, you're not being appreciated or your book is just not selling is because maybe your cover doesn't look great. I have another video that I will pin right here. And sometimes our covers are just not that cute. We're trying to do stuff ourselves and we shouldn't. I always say, I try to stay in my lane. I'm not trying to do a cover layout, design it, sometimes not even find all the pictures and all of that for it because it can be stressful because once you put it out in the universe, it's out there. And so you don't want it to look bad. But when you do that, you need to go back to the drawing board and just do a do over, right? And so covers are intriguing. And so if you didn't really take the time and you don't care about the cover, then you're just saying, I don't even care if anybody buys my book because we are very visual. And so the cover is like a great outfit. What outfit would you put on your cover, on your book, on this written masterpiece, this piece of work that you worked really hard on? What are you going to dress it up with? Instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to, do this, I'm going to keep it simple. Draw someone's attention. Does it tell a story without me even opening the book? Someone may look at your book and think, oh, it's not that long. I know that I look at the price of a book, how many pages, does the cover, really like draw my attention. I'm looking at all these different things. What did they write about the book? The short little blurb that's supposed to catch me to make me want to read the book. And so, the length of your book, I know sometimes we can only tell our story, as much as we can, and sometimes we're telling it in a truncated version in the book when we really should find more words to say about the situation. Like, just because you have one situation doesn't mean you can't expound on more situations that have to do with that. If you're writing about one person, maybe there's other people that have encountered this person, right? So, if there's characters, you can expound on the characters. So sometimes our topic or our subject is that we've exhausted all of our words, but we can go back and pick apart our book and see where we can add more information, add more words, add more content to our book to maybe be more descriptive. And this will stretch your book out. Sometimes we don't describe everything like we should. And sometimes you can just describe it down to the T, if you're saying their ears were shaped a certain way, or their skin tone, if they had acne or if they wore glasses, what type of glasses, right? So we get this real good visual of who you're talking about. That draws out your book and it will definitely make it longer. You may have written an essay and not necessarily a book. And I've written several different pieces like this where it's only an essay, it's only a short story, that can go inside of a magazine. It's just not enough information. It's just enough to inform people and give them ideas and things like that and kind of help them. And so if you're writing like that and you feel more comfortable like that, then by all means go that route. Then you want to target the magazines or where they're publishing short stories, right? Or you can compile your short stories so that they do make up a book. Now, if you've got everything down, you've got this great cover, the title is captivating, you have enough content, your book is good, you've gotten great feedback, but you just are not in front of enough people or the right people. So consider the type of marketing that you're doing. If you've invested heavy on the front end of getting this book out, it may be daunting to think about doing the marketing. And so especially if this is your first book, because sometimes, we'll do heavy on the front end and then it's just like, I can't do anymore. I invested all of this in this book. So my suggestion is to, if you can and you haven't finished your book, kind of balance it out and say, okay, I'm going to do this much, I'm going to spend this much on this part, and I'm going to spend this much on this part and spend this much on this part. And so that I can really invest in marketing. You have all these free platforms that allow you to say, hey, look at me, I have a book. But if you do not have enough followers or people that really support you, then you're not going to sell your book. And if they're not avid readers or they're not interested in your type of book, then they're not going to buy your book. You're going to be pushing your book off on them. So you really want to say, okay, yeah, I do want to spend some money to invest in marketing to get more exposure. And the different platforms do give you opportunity to do that. And what I call the buy-in is really low. So try that marketing and consistently marketing. I've said this in other videos. So consistently just marketing, showing people that you're here, your book, and you can do a trailer, but you don't want to be spending a whole bunch of money. You really want to, and you can do this yourself. I mean, basically you're showing your 3D picture and you're maybe adding some music and maybe a little video, and shorts and reels are perfect for this. So don't discount the free stuff, but also plan to invest a little bit in some other type of marketing that gets you to a larger audience. Now that you've figured out that your book needed a little work and you judged it up a little bit and you've done all the things to make things better, you really need to think about speaking. Don't worry about being nervous, because everybody's nervous when they're speaking in front of people about something that they didn't even want to do in the first place, right? Once you get more books under your belt, then you're just like, okay, yeah, I can do this, right? And trust me, this comes with the territory. You start writing these books, you're going to want to tell people about it. But use your book as a tool. I've said this before. I know you've heard me say this before, but you want to make sure that you get on stage and as many stages as possible to share your story. So you're just using your book as a way to get in the door, to say, hey, I am an expert on this subject, this topic, and I know that you are actually hosting an event that has something to do with what my book's about. So I would like to come and share. Then these opportunities, maybe you're volunteering at first, but these opportunities could lead to paid opportunities and get you more exposure. So don't ever discount volunteering and then showing up with your book that will be for sale, right? And so this is just another way to get your book back out there after it hasn't been appreciated that much, After you've done all your work, then get back out there and get on that stage. Now, I've been going on and on about underappreciated authors, and you are going to feel that way when the hoopla dies down. You are going to be feeling like, man, did I do everything? Is my book not interesting enough? Oh, that's when you need to start writing a whole nother book. But you really want to ask yourself this right out the gate. Do you even care? Do you even care? I know for myself personally, the way that I operate with my books, it stems from my history. The way that I do my books, my presentation, even when I'm talking to you right now, it all stems from my past. How I was raised, the things that I learned, everything that I carry is how I'm showing up to you. So, do you care? Is that who you really are, that you wouldn't invest enough in your book? Is this important to you? Because I know at times I felt like, okay, I'm just going to do this. I don't feel like this. I'm tired. And then my past, my upbringing creeps in. And then I'm like, no, but your standard is, what are you doing, Michelle? And then I'm like, yeah, I want it to be that way because I know in my heart of hearts that this is what I really need. I'm proud when I go back and I look at my books and I'm like, yay, yeah, you know. And so, do you care? Do you even really give a damn about this book, about these books? Really assess your emotion and how much effort that you put into this piece of art. Think of it as a piece of art because it's going to be sitting on someone's shelf in a library, and you want it to be beautiful. You want someone to gravitate towards it. And if you don't care, well, then there you have it. I appreciate you listening today, and I hope that you got a lot out of what I said. Some of it was a reiteration because we need that from time to time. But I really want you to understand how important it is for you to start out great and then you'll finish great. And then you will feel good about this masterpiece. Take care.